Trying Something TV. Today we're here with Lainey Maples. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
So good. So Lainey is the owner of Native Plant CBD in Nashville. She loves to help people heal and balance their life and help them with their mental health. She's helped me so much, I can honestly say.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to get to talk to you today.
I'm so excited, and I am so proud of you. I feel like I have a unique perspective. We lived in the same town together, and you worked with my husband a lot, and I love getting to see so many people grow through him, and then get to continue on relationships. And I'm so proud of what you are doing, and you are in store for some big things to come.
Oh, thank you. So everyone
I
who doesn't
believe that.
know Lainey, her husband is an acting coach, and they work with my agent, Tribe Talent. So their CBD store is right under Tribe.
One big happy family.
One big happy family, and they have like the coolest
Yeah.
setup. Like she's sitting out on the lounge right now, where you can just go and zen out with your CBD.
It's a beautiful day in Nashville too.
Yeah, so y'all go visit them. I wish I could. I wish I could transportation was no transportation.
Transplant.
Yeah, I wish I could.
I wish we could zoom you in like a little
Teleporter.
hello of you. Yes.
That'd be amazing. Oh my gosh. So quarantine's been crazy. And I mean, I remember telling you like a couple months ago at this point, like I became like a legitimate alcoholic, like drinking all the time, and CBD helped so much. And I was just curious, like, have you seen a lot of people come in there, like in their desperation, in their like anxious moments, like during this
Every day.
time that we're living in?
Every day. I feel like that was even sadly, I feel like that was a lot of people even before COVID and quarantine. But this is all just send it through the roof for people. And that saddens me. At one point, I was told that like I have some inside secret source. No, it was some story on Yahoo or something that there wasn't a shortage of anti-anxiety medication in the country.
What?
That was the effect. Yes, that was the effect of COVID and quarantine and everybody's lives being turned upside down. And that's a big problem for me. I believe in medicine. I believe it has its time and its place in this country and in our world. But we are an over-medicated world.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that there's other options for people to come to that are more plant-based and natural and non-addictive, with no long-term effects, but balancing your body back to how God made us. And then as far as alcohol, I mean, we're all a little guilty of partaking, you know, and going to stress, right? We want to be relieved. And we're just facing things that we've never faced in our lives. I feel like we're way too young to be facing all this, but at the same time, there's going to be some blessings in that. And for us to have, be aware of our coping mechanisms. And that's what that's about. So, you know, there's a lot of people that have turned to alcohol, and I'm so glad that it's not the enemy, but it can real quick be an enemy for a lot of people, and just keeping that in check. So the fact that you and I've had that conversation before, and I'm just so proud that you are in tune with yourself that much, and you know, to just kind of check yourself and find alternatives. And I also know that exercise is a huge, it's not always easy to get back into a routine. I'm still trying to find myself a routine every single day, but it really does a lot for mental health and getting that stress out, that we may just want to sit on the couch and drink a glass of wine or something otherwise. And that is just a sticky rut that we can all, you know, maybe be a victim to. But yeah, quarantine is, you know, been eye-opening, but it's been a struggle for a lot of people.
It really has. And you know, when you're not in the like wake up, go to your specific job, like that routine, then you it's easy to develop negative habits. So just like you said, like being aware of your coping. And I mean, CBD is amazing because you don't get a hangover. You know, I still love a glass of wine, but I'm not dousing my stress with wine.
Right.
You know, now
and I noticed a lot of people that they were turning to, because they were at home, a lot more daytime drinking. Well, you can real quick realize, you've had a couple of glasses and you're still trying to continue your work day. So, just trying to keep things in perspective and take it in stride. We can all get so overwhelmed with what's going on, the state of the world, and the urgency. You're an empathetic personality like I am, and we feel so big, and we feel so deep, and we want to save the world, like. But we have to take that in stride too. That's why I believe you're going to have a powerful platform with Aspiring Something, because you're amazing and your heart's right. And creating conversations, communication is so huge. And so for healthy relationships, marriage or friendships, whatever it be, business, it's important to communicate. So I think just voicing, maybe like you said, I became an alcoholic during quarantine. Somebody else maybe have too much anxiety or too much pride or whatever to say that out loud. So you saying that could help somebody. I hope and pray that conversations like this that I've had the honor to do throughout quarantine, sharing my love and passion for CBD, maybe can change somebody else's life, whether it be anxiety, their sleep issues, which are huge, and that affects so many things, including our immune system. That's vital always, but even more so now. But yeah, we just have to balance all those, everything we take in the world, and then otherwise we kind of just have to let it go to keep ourselves safe.
Yeah, absolutely. I was reading this nutritionist, and she's a nutritionist or psychologist, something. I follow her on Instagram. I can't remember her exact title, but she was saying like 50% of people that experience anxiety don't react well with medication. I honestly feel like it could be more, might be more, but just to think that statistics are like that, yet that's the main thing that gets, the limelight is shined on the medication. Do you ever get frustrated that maybe the naturopathic remedies like CBD aren't as well known? Maybe there's some misconceptions about it.
Totally. Every single day. It being, I feel like CBD has led the forefront for, which is funny because people that have been so far advanced in states like California, Oregon, Colorado, they'd probably laugh at the statement, but I think CBD is the gateway to helping people understand what cannabis is and what it isn't. I explain to people CBD is like the first cousin to cannabis. You're related to your first cousin. You have similar genes, but not the same genes. And so therefore it's an easy way for people to understand. You're not going to get high. Not everybody wants to do that. And if, so when it becomes legal, I fully believe that CBD is going to be that gateway that helps expand cannabis being legal in all 50 states. My thought is, why is alcohol legal and cannabis isn't fully, right? Because there's so many amazing properties to the plant, and I get to customize people's regimens every single day. But CBD is going to help people not be so afraid of it and scared and think it's bad. And, I've heard it all, and I totally understand, because if you knew how much of a conservative background I come from, you would laugh that I'm even here. But I know it's God's plan that I'm even here and getting to help people every single day understand and have the knowledge of what they're taking. We just take for face value if a doctor hands you a prescription. We don't ask the questions typically. We just think our doctor said so, and so it's safe, right? And a lot of medications are. But again, we're in an over-medicated world where not everything needs a medication or prescription. And so we just have to think long-term of how it works with our body. Well, CBD cannabis has a direct communication and connection to our body, which is insane. And most people don't know that we have a system in our body. Like, we don't have a Tylenol system. We don't have a leave system in our body. We don't have a allergy pill system. You know what I mean? So we have a system in our body called the Endocannabinoid System. ECS is the easiest way to put it, or the endo system. And so that system controls almost every major function in our body. We'll say that again. It
that is
controls almost every major function in our body.
That is
So
incredible. It's like God literally
yeah,
hardwired us to consume this. Just like, you know, the trees consume carbon dioxide to create oxygen. Like we're
it all has a purpose.
To eat,
and that's what I love to see, that light bulb go off when I explain this to a customer, because I want them to get it. I want them to see how vital it is. It's like the multivitamin of life. It's the easiest, most common sense way to put it. And so we need to balance that system in order to receive that balance, which means anxiety gets reduced or goes away. Our sleep is more balanced out, and we're not waking up at all hours of the night. Our pain and inflammation goes down. There are amazing properties in the earth, and that sounds so hippie dippy, but you know what I mean? Like, but that's where we're even normalizing that concept, because it's so brilliant, the connection, that it almost doesn't make sense, but it is so clear at the same time. So, you know, that's what I tell people. We need to get that internal balance back in order for your life to improve. It's a quality of life thing for me. So we trust a lot of man-made things versus God-made and from the earth. I don't know why, but there is that, you know, through history, there was a stigma, you know, developed, and then just the fear of, you know, and again, we don't have that much fear when it comes to chemical prescriptions. And again, they have their time and their place and safety. But anyway, so, you know, just getting people educated so they feel like it's coming from a trusted, reliable source, and even having all lab tested products. Why is that important? Because you want to know the quality. So I will go to the ends of the earth for our customers to get results, and just for them to feel comfortable and confident in what they're taking.
That's amazing. I truly believe that you're part of a grassroots movement, just because CBD is something so new. And like, I grew up, like, not gonna lie, high school, smoked weed, like it's recreational. A lot of people think, you know, marijuana or that part of the plant is recreational. And a lot of people don't know the amazing medicinal facts about this. And it's so sad. Like my grandpa's conservative as well. And he, you know, he was in the hospital for like almost a month during this quarantine on all these medications. One medication, you know, gives him this bad reaction.
Then
the other medication, you know, helps with that. And it's like, and he wasn't sleeping. He wasn't sleeping at all. And I so badly, like, I told him so many times, like, please just try CBD. And they're just like hardwired to like not. And so I truly believe, like, you're part of the grassroots movement in this generation, you know, coming forth is going to have that kind of knowledge that you so passionately go in, you know, even though like your place is super aesthetic and like, you know, you have all the cute stuff, like you are so well informed and like, genuinely like have that passion behind it, you know?
Thank you. I'm glad you say that. And I appreciate that you get that from us, because that's the most important thing for me. I am excited about, you know, when it comes to the laws changing in Tennessee, specifically, because that's where we're at, but across the board, because there's people out there that need a different option. To tell everybody quickly how I came to all this, I was in the music industry. I toured, I wrote songs, I'm a singer, I'm a performer. That was my life. Like, and it still is, but in smaller doses these days. But I came through coming onto my love for CBD through my mom's cancer journey. And it was recently 3 years ago that I lost her, and way too young, y'all. She was 59 years old. And so, you know, we went out to California after the second, you know, it came back, and they said there's nothing else you can do on the conventional route. And that wasn't a good enough answer for us. And so we chose to go out to California, and part of her regimen was cannabis oils. And I just saw that change every negative side effect from the cancer treatments, cancer itself, and then from the opiates. So anyway, cannabis oils took care of all that, the nausea, the sleep.
Did you get recommended that, or did a doctor refer that, or was it kind of your own due diligence that you?
It was partially both. It came from a recommendation here, and of course, you know, they can't prescribe it or anything because it's not legal here.
Yeah.
But so just the frustrating aspect is we had to uproot our lives from Tennessee for a few months. In the grand scheme of life, 2 months, 3 months is not that big of a deal. But when you are fighting cancer with everything you have, and you have to go to another state just to get something that's going to help it either be, you know, be more at ease and at peace through the process. That was her choice of medicine, our choice of medicine at that time. And so just to see that we didn't have it readily available here. We had to literally leave our state and travel across country for months and leave our family. So, you know, and I saw nothing but amazing, amazing benefits. And so that's why I'm here. I felt like the Lord knew that, okay, hey, I know you're not going to understand why I'm changing your course of life, literally like changing my entire direction of my life.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get it. I get to see it every single day. I get to help people through these products sleep better for the first time in years. These are sleep deprived parents, professionals, people that deal with debilitating anxiety. I know that firsthand. That is my biggest beast in my life. But I also have received the great relief of that, and it doesn't dominate my life anymore. And just by taking one oil under my tongue every single day. So people that haven't ever taken CBD, they think, "Ooh, I'm going to get high. I don't, that scares me." Well, you actually don't feel anything. Why would you take it, right?
Oh,
Why would you take it?
Mellow. Like I've been taking the tea that you gave me at night, and it's just,
Yes.
it just unwinds me and I just fall asleep, and it's so nice because you don't wake
Awesome.
up with the hangover. You know, sometimes the
Well, and it's gonna keep you asleep. So I've noticed personally, and then I've also heard a lot of people that say you have a glass of wine or two at night before you go to bed. It's gonna you're gonna feel warm and cozy, and you're gonna go to sleep, right? Well, it's not gonna keep you asleep. There's something about the tannins or the sulfites or something that in the sugar response,
Oh,
it wakes you up. Yeah. And so in order to, that feels nice, right? But not so nice when you're up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So, so that tea is a really, really great replacement. And I'm glad to hear that, because we all just have to get back to being balanced, because our environments, our brains, and our bodies, I feel like we're all in this like crazy erratic world, and we just learn to deal with it.
mm-hmm.
I hate that. So many people are like, well, I just kind of learned to deal with it. I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
Why? When we can be restored back to balance. It's called homeostasis. It's just that warm, cozy, balanced feeling. And that's we're made to live there. We're not made to live in this erratic anxiety world or a heightened state of anything, right? But us humans are pretty miraculous beings. So we can operate even out of the most chaotic times, but it's going to have an effect on our bodies. So yeah, and that's why during this climate of life, pace yourself. I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to everybody that's listening. Pace yourself, because we can only take in so much before it has a toll on our body and our health. But yeah, I mean, the future for CBD and cannabis, I believe is going to be really bright, and people will have that plant-based option,
Oh yeah.
you know, to turn to for certain things.
There was been recently some lawsuits against the opioid companies because they were caught like unlawfully making them for they were pretty much incentivizing doctors to give it to people that may possibly not. And I mean, so many people died from those, and it's so bad. And the fact that you guys are making CBD readily available, and you know, giving them something that can take away their pain but not numb them and get to the root.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just tell people, I'm like, it sounds so cheesy, but CBD. So when you take it,
Oh shoot, kind of got cut out here. You there? Okay, sorry.
Uh-oh.
So CBD.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So people think, well, oh, I'm going to get high from taking that, or I'm going to feel this or that. Well, you don't actually feel anything. So why would you take it, right? Well, the goal is to the absence of your sleep issues, the absence of your anxiety, your pain. So it's when all those things go away and you feel that peaceful feeling. You're not distracted by all those things anymore. And you just feel, this is the cheesy part, you just feel like the best version of yourself. And that's no joke. Like, that's just what it is, because you're not distracted by all these issues that you're trying to just deal with. So that's the goal.
It's so good, so good. So I haven't really told anyone on this, platform yet, but I recently, months ago, was diagnosed with autism. And when I would go out to places, like, I'm so hypersensitive, and like I always just like, I knew I had like ADD, but I didn't realize like this was part of
Fully.
why I feel everything. Like I feel music like in my body, and like I like just am sensitive to light, everything. And so my environment so much of the time dictates my mood or how I feel. And
your mood.
When I would go to like places like socially, I would feel so overwhelmed by the loud music, hear everyone talking anyways, like it just all so much, I just over drink. And CBD, I don't know like the science behind it, but it helps calm all those like hypersensitivity where I'm able to enjoy a few glasses and I don't feel like the need to like get myself.
Well, you're not numbing. You're not numbing your anxiety and that overwhelmed feeling with alcohol, which is wonderful. And that's what it is made to do, is just to counteract that it's like overreacting system.
It was like the sensory, like how, I don't know, how is it?
Like it is. It has a lot to do with the nervous system. It is wonderful for ADD, ADHD. I have a lot of parents that have chosen this route instead of a medicated route, or they had gone the medicated route before and their child was a zombie, or their child expressed, I don't feel very good, or I don't feel anything. Like, so I've heard it all. And then they try CBD and they're just like, I have my kid back. I mean, there's no greater feeling. Or teenagers dealing with a lot of anxiety and social anxiety and whatever, being that they're in the teen years, and that's a lot. It's fun, but there's a lot of pressure and anxiety that can come with that. So, I mean, it's so rewarding because, and this is why it's fun for me every single day, because I don't know what kind of customer I'm going to encounter. So it's a strategy every single day to help this person. There's no cookie cutter at Native Plant. I mean, we're all unique. And so our approach to every single customer is going to be unique. We don't all deal with the same exact things. And that endo system that we talked about earlier, the ECS, it is unique as our fingerprint. So it's not a one dose fits all. It's not just a cookie cutter dosage. And so we just evaluate. We make sure you're getting results. And if you're not exactly where you want to be, we evaluate your dosage. We're not just sending you out on your own to figure it out. I am literally a phone call away, and every one of my customers know that.
All the like milligram number things, those get confusing. The level, all of that, it's like overwhelming. But help everyone with that. And I remember for a while,
we try to eliminate that.
I remember for a while you're doing consultations, and for everyone watching, do you still?
Yeah, we're still
evaluate.
Absolutely. And it's 100% no commitment, free. I mean, I just want you to understand what your options are, and to answer any questions that people might have lingering and keeping them from trying CBD. So, I'm a phone call away, and no pressure, but I will guide you hand in hand as long as you want to be. I have customers that have been on it months, and usually we find results in that dosage, the sweet spot, as I call it, within the first month. But sometimes people have maybe new issues, or say they haven't quite gotten a grasp on their migraines, or whatever it be. Yeah. We evaluate, and then we either up the dosage, or we find maybe another product that's going to be more geared and focused towards that issue. So we will find it. I'm always determined, and I'm pretty much 100 for 100 right now.
Yeah. Well, I might need to chat. I mean, might need to up my dosage. Life's getting stressful, and with these lockdowns, I'm definitely up my dosage.
And the holidays. The holidays.
The holidays and the political debates between family members. Yeah, definitely.
Right. All the things.
Yeah. So
For sure.
going back to your adversity that you encountered, you were pursuing the singing songwriting, and then you had this traumatic thing happen to you, and you totally shifted gears. I feel like losing someone is probably the most devastating thing you can encounter, especially someone so close to you. And like, my brain is called aspiring something, and it kind of comes from that philosophical, thought of like, what am I doing on this earth? Like, my life is so, our lives are all so short. And so, that had to be so painful. And I'm just curious, like, having lost the person that you were closest with, like, how did that change your outlook just on life itself?
Whew, that's a deep one. It's, it has literally rocked my world. I was 31. I mean, that's way too young to lose your mom. And my mom, you get me talking about my mom and then it's over. But, I've learned a lot. It's the most devastating thing you can ever go through, because my mom was my best friend. We did everything together. So much so people say, well, I'm sure you have voicemails saved or whatever. I don't, because I was always with my mom. So I wish I had certain things, but I also had her with me every single day. Cancer sucks. Cancer sucks just across the board. And so to see somebody fight so hard and go through so much was hard. And being a caretaker was hard, because even in like a year and a half after she passed, I felt like my body was going through and letting down that adrenaline that I had held on. Like, I got to take care of my mom. I got to take care. It's not about me. Right. And so, even after that, so if anybody's in that phase of life, you still have to take care of yourself, because you can't, it's kind of like being on the plane. You got to put your oxygen mask on yourself first before you can save somebody else or your kid. So, it changed my world completely, and my thought of the world, and this life is so short. I've never understood that. Never understood it in the way that I do now. And sadly, some of it has also hardened me a little bit. And I hate that. Hardened meaning, I'm a little hardened in certain ways, but then I'm also extra empathetic in the same way, which makes no sense unless you understand what I'm talking about. I had a customer come in one day and she's talking about her dad. She lost her dad. And she said, yeah, sometimes I just hear people like say something that they're going through, and I'm kind of like, yeah, been there. Sucks, doesn't it? So that's the heart. It's life. And that's the part that I hate, but
a little jaded.
Just a little. Yeah. And she said that, and I was like, oh, somebody gets it. I've told my husband that. And, he's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. But he doesn't, in the capacity that I do. And so I hate that. But then again, I have so much empathy and love for people that are going through things. So it doesn't make any sense, but it does up here. But yeah, I mean, just seeing that we really need to value the time we have on this earth, and because this life is so temporary, if I've learned anything. And it also has helped me see life and death differently.
And you're a believer, a believer in God.
Absolutely.
Have you always been like that? Did your faith get rocky or shaken during any of that?
Not really shaken. Questioning and a little mad sometimes. Yeah. But I think from just reading different scriptures and stuff, that's okay. I never, hated God for it. I said, why? Why my mom? Not that I wanted to be somebody else's mom, but, but then again, my dad is a super, super strong man of God. And, to see him keep going, even though my parents were married almost 40 years and still loved each other very much. So, it's mostly been a positive change of outlook on life. and change to help others. I no longer really see things in a superficial way. And, there's a lot of petty stuff in the world. And that's why, like, even the realm we're in, I feel a lot of it, but then I also know it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And it's going to pass, because I've been through the worst in my mind, the worst of the worst. And I'm 3 years here. I'm married. We have a business. I'm happy most days, but the other days, that's called grief. And I take that in stride too. I allow myself to feel it. And there's certain days where I don't feel like opening up my doors and putting on a face to sell CBD, but I do. And every day, that just because I'm sad and just because it's a hard day or whatever, but then I see after the customers that I met that day and hear stories, or they tell me they're getting amazing results and they feel better than they have in forever, I see my purpose for that day, waking up and moving on. We got to put on our big girl britches sometimes and just keep going with life.
That's amazing. It's incredible that you took that deep pain, that unfathomable pain for most people, and turned that into your purpose. And now, like I said, you're part of the grassroots movement. I truly feel like, especially like in the South, like in LA, California, people are a little more.
Yeah, it's a different realm. Yeah.
The South, people, blindly take pharmaceuticals, and then they take those and then they have negative side effects, and then they die. I mean, people, when you see this pharmaceutical commercial, they say this may cause blah, 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 and sudden death.
And risk of death.
Like, I'd rather just have the
sign me up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, sign me up, please.
Yeah. God has
and
purpose.
And here's where, like, again, I've said it twice, but medicine has its time and its place. Yeah. I'm not, there've been a few customers that I either it's just a deeper depression that I'm comfortable guiding them in, or some trauma stuff that we have other wellness resources that I can reach out to some of our wellness partners and push them in that direction, because I am not here to say that CBD is going to be the cure all and it's going to save your life. And, there's certain things that I don't mess around with, and, depression being one of them. So, when we can get certain things under control, and then we can take a look at the natural aspect once it's been evaluated more medically of what's going on and the imbalances, because that's somebody's life, and I don't take that lightly. But the excitement of CBD, the future, I feel like we haven't even skimmed the surface, which is really exciting. And, like, I'm so passionate that I'm like, okay, what senator, what governor, who do I need to talk to? Where are those doors? Like, I'm so ready to say that this is the new face of cannabis. I am, CBD under that umbrella. But I'm a Christian. I am a wife. I have a business. I blah, 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 whatever, to break any stigma, because it's about helping people and relabeling this whole industry. And, just for them to go, oh, she's not who we would expect. So we have big dreams of where we can take Native Plant, but CBD education in general and cannabis.
Yes.
So maybe 2021 will open up some new doors and less quarantine.
Yeah, in church too. I mean, like, think about the Bible. It talks about, like, all the herbs and, like, the frankincense and, like, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the earth. And
I just think when it comes to creation, like, if it wasn't there for a purpose, he had a lot of other things to focus on, and not waste his time putting an anti-inflammatory property into a plant, or an anti-convulsant property, or antibacterial, or, I mean, the list goes on. So I know that they're here for a purpose. And, we shouldn't be afraid, with things being proven, and not just going out and picking something in the grass and eating it and thinking, you know what I mean? Right? I'm going to smoke this branch off of this tree, I mean, joking aside, but it's coming. Times are, I think, definitely going to be changing.
Yes. Oh, I love your optimism. So It's been so good to talk to you. I have like a few more questions.
So good. Yeah.
Well, you know, some people, you know, are going through adversity. I would say right now, most people are going through some sort of
form. Yeah.
it's, you know, maybe losing someone close to them, maybe from COVID, maybe it's losing their job, maybe it's, you know, high schoolers not able to go to their, you know, graduations, stuff,
Yeah. Big monumental. Yeah, absolutely.
and not knowing where they're going to college. So what tips would you give high school, college students, or even adults, you know, up into their 80s that are currently struggling with knowing their purpose or, you know, going through adversity? What would you say to them that you've maybe learned in the process?
I would say don't try to figure it all out at once. And I think as a creative, that was always like, I wanted to know the answers. You know, you work so hard for something and, you know, not have an answer. Well, we're promised nothing in this world. You know, so, and so just take it in stride. Transitions. You moved, you found a new job. Like, is it going to be for your forever job? Probably not, but you're figuring out that temporary situation. So, you know, I could have stayed in a hole of grief, you know, but my mom is a very strong person, and my husband's so sweet. In our vows, he said, I promise to always talk about your mom in present tense because she's living greater than any of us.
Oh,
So I say is because she is. My dad says she temporarily went to live somewhere else. So,
I love
but anyway,
just another dimension. She's in heaven. It's just a dimension.
And that really helps. I'm getting off topic here, but that really helps. When we were leaving the hospital after she'd passed, one of the nurses said, baby girl, she's just living upstairs. She just went to live upstairs. And so in my mind, I can see like a 2-level house. I can envision my mom upstairs. That way it's a perspective of not feeling so far away and so ripped apart in worlds. And so anyway, adversity.
Amazing. And that goes back to aspiring something like we're on this earth for such short time, but think about eternal life. Eternal life, you'll get to be with your mom.
It's going to be amazing. Oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing.
Upstairs.
I only wish we had heaven FaceTime. That would be insane, right?
Maybe just say, in my dream tonight, can you connect us?
Right. Yeah, I mean, so I can't wait for that. But until then, we are so blessed to be able to get to do what we do every single day. And adversity is a really tough thing. It can be a devil that takes you down and tells you you're not going to get through this, or you can't do that anymore, or whatever. And those words and those thoughts can be very powerful. So I would say, you know, take it in stride, come up with a plan, but have a flexible plan, because we're going to have to navigate. We're still navigating every single month what our business looks like this month, because what's going on in the world. But keep your head up, stay active, find a routine that works for you and that's a healthy routine, whether it's replacing your alcohol at night with a CBD tea or CBD oil, or diffusing some essential oils beside your bed, whatever it be. I started doing yoga. Oh my gosh, a game changer. Yeah. I've never been into yoga, but I was like, you know what? I need to stretch. I could feel my body saying, stretch out this tension, stretch this out. Because I'm one that can hold it in my body really, really hard. And then I have inflammation and pain from it. So yeah, I mean, just trying to set a little bit of a normalcy for yourself.
Amazing how
and then reaching out and talking to others. Oh gosh, we even have some organs that are stress organs, and they hold on to the stress. So it's insane. Our bodies are insane. Yeah.
Girl, we're gonna have to do a chapter 2 because I feel like we could talk forever. I'm just gonna.
We could talk all day. I'm trying to consolidate myself because I can get really, really excited.
Like, wait, what?
It can go so deep. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Little teasers.
Yes, little teasers.
Yeah, we just yeah. And hey, adversity is adversity is one last thought. Adversity can actually be very empowering. So it's how you choose to use it. I've chosen to move forward in this path and not have my mom's cancer journey be in vain, and to help other people. And it's a quality of life, because our days on this earth are limited, and we need to make them the best that we can, and love each other. Love and kindness.
Yes.
Needs more of that.
So inspiring. That you find joy in helping others, and that comes back, and it's really inspiring, because it's like you could be in your own pity party, and I'm so I've done this, in my own pity party of depression, and then I'm so like, woe is me. And it's like the fact that you found, in your grieving, that you found a purpose to help others, so that they don't have to maybe go through what your mom went through. They don't have to suffer, in that health realm. And that's so.
I don't want people to struggle if they don't have to. And if we can eliminate something or reduce it in intensity and make a dent in somebody's life, then, I mean, that's why I get up every day. So if it was just a retail store, it'd be totally different. I wouldn't be here. I know without a doubt, I wouldn't be here. But helping people's lives improve, and having a friendship with them, that goes a long way too. So
yes, well, I'm so grateful for you. So
I'm so grateful for you.
Question is, so in this season, it doesn't have to be career. It could just be, today, it could be this week. What are you specifically aspiring?
Ooh, to get through the holidays. Legit. Michael and I are going back to Oklahoma for Thanksgiving, and another level of adversity, just because it's a massive change in my life. But I'm very happy for my dad. My dad's getting married to a wonderful lady next weekend.
Oh my God.
So
are you going?
Yes, we are. He, we're so close, and he just wants us all to be a part of that, and there to be no new life, or, it's all just his life. And it's been a process. Not gonna lie, there's a lot of emotions to process, but I'm thankful. She's an amazing lady, a believer, and loves my dad, and my dad's happy again, and my dad deserves that. Everybody deserves happiness, especially after going through so much unwarranted pain for him, and married to somebody for almost 40 years, and then like you have nobody to do all those things with. It's nobody deserves that. So I'm happy for him. But yeah, just continuing to do what we're doing, and bigger, hopefully, fingers crossed, 2020 allows us to do a lot of the plan we're talking about. We're taking Native Plant on a much larger scale of helping more people and going into businesses, and my vision is to create happier, healthier employees, which is going to create happier and healthier, more productive businesses. And so yeah, I pray for that to be able to be an option this year. And if not in person, then maybe we navigate it a different way. We've done pretty good in 2020 with Zoom and all the platforms.
And I love watching your stories. You're so informative and always optimistic and giving people resources. So everyone, go give her a follow. Tell people where they can follow you.
We're on Facebook and Instagram at Native Plant CBD. And then our website is nativeplantlife.com.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to be thinking about you all the prayers in this.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's not going to be easy to process, but you're also someone who is so in tune. And so I know that you'll,
we just
go through it with a positive.
It'll be okay.
And, always embrace the tears because they're normal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm so proud of you, and thank you for having us on. And I'm a phone call away. Private consultation takes about 15 minutes, and no strings attached.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited for part 2 with you eventually, and eventually I have to get your husband on here.
Yes. You'd probably need to allow probably a week's worth of interviews with Michael Maples.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of life and he can talk.
Yes.
But yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I think that'd be great.
All right, girl.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanksgiving.
You too.
Bye, girl.
You too. Bye.